Yo,
Yo,
welcome back to another week, another segment of Express Yourself.
express
G
yourself.
Butters.
Yo, it's Mac, man. Mac the man,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Come on, always ways. But this is express yourself.
Yes, sir.
Now, um, today's topic is gonna be let's do about cutting ties. This is like cutting ties, man. Cut ties. When do you know what I'm saying? How do you know when to cut a tie?
Cutting ties to me, it just like I always say, like I feel like I say this in every segment. It just depends how you look at it. There's different ways of cutting ties. Like to me, you could cut a tie with an associate. You could cut a tie with
Mm-hmm.
a family member. You could cut a tie with like a friendship, a relationship. There's many ways of cutting ties, but the main principle of cutting ties to me is like when you feel like it's not that it's beneficial just to you, but it's just like you see things as just going like in a negative or a downward spiral. It's just like if it's not benefiting you at all, why are you still going through it? Like I might as well just cut ties with that person. So like I'll give an example.
Yeah.
So it's just like if in a relationship with a girl, like my previous relationship, um, you know, there were some things where, we agreed on and disagreed on, and it's just like it was to the point where like we just weren't seeing shit like eye to eye, or just shit wasn't working out. So it's just like I'd rather cut that tie or cut that relationship off before it gets to the point where it's just like it becomes toxic. Now that's a
Yeah.
whole different subject and a whole different
Yeah.
topic, but you know, I feel like if you don't know when to cut the ties or when to cut the tie to that relationship or status, I feel like shit could go real bad. Like depending on what it is, though. Like how I said, that's just a
Right.
relationship. Like a relationship could get toxic and get arguments. Now in a friendship, because it could ruin something y'all grew or developed over time and established. Or like if it's a family member, it's just like it's gonna make situations or times like a little bit more tense than others. So it's just like, you got to learn to just be mature. And like I feel like cutting ties is a mature thing to do, because it's like if you're not gonna do it to benefit you or benefit that person. It's just I'm the type of person where I love peace. Like I hate the drama. I hate the not that I don't like going through conflict or all that, but like trust me, if I had to, I'll go through it. But it's just like I'd rather keep that clear peace of mind to myself, where it's just like I'll be the bigger person, and if I see if things aren't like things are just like getting too like frictiony, like between mine or anyone in my family, like I just cut the tie, like
Yeah.
and cutting ties sometimes doesn't have to be
Yeah, how you
something.
define that? Yeah,
That's all I
because
say.
so
So
guys, just in case, I
yeah,
feel like everybody get a grasp and you get a grip for like what somebody say cutting tie, but just maybe if it's a young viewer never heard of it, or
yeah.
somebody that's older, you might not have never heard of it.
And not just that, but what I was gonna explain is like cutting ties doesn't have to be forever. When you cut someone, it doesn't have to be a definitive cutoff, So it's like
Right.
you could cut
Oh
them off
well, okay, yeah,
momentarily, So it's just like how me and him said it before. Me and him have gone through patches where it's just like we don't even speak at all, or we don't even see each other at all. It's not that I cut him off or he cut me off. It's just
yeah,
we gave that time and space because he was so into his stuff, I'm so into my stuff. Where it's just like we differentiate, but
yeah.
we come back. So like if you cut someone off just because shit is happening, or like how we said in a couple videos ago, where it's just like don't go do things off of emotion, like do things smarter. Like if you cut ties with that person, you cut them off with time, things could have gotten better and y'all could like reconnect that. So I feel like cutting ties is just like it could be a forever thing, but if you make it a forever thing, it doesn't have to be a forever thing. It doesn't have to be something where it's defined as like all right,
Mm-hmm.
it's established. Like nah, like it could be momentarily, or it could be just while y'all regroup and get y'all shit together and have a clear view on whatever y'all going through.
Yeah.
That's my first take on it.
Yeah, I agree a lot, man. Actually, I was gonna just let's start off with like a time heals all. I
Yep.
really do agree that I think time heals all. I've cut people off momentarily to give it time. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Like because what he was saying, like at this very moment, we're just clashing. It's nonstop
Yeah.
conflict. It's like completely going downhill. And when it's doing that, I don't like that shit. And
Nah.
it
Yeah.
seems like some people do. I don't know, but I'm all about peace, bro. I want to be all about peace,
Exactly.
productivity, just moving forward. You know what I'm saying? I don't like looking back in the mirror so long. You know, some I've heard a quote before when it said, or somebody said to me before, like, you know, there's a reason the window shield is so much bigger than the rear view mirror, because you shouldn't spend so much time looking back. You get what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
that's how. Does that make sense? What I just
Yeah,
said? Like,
Jimmy Butler said that once. Like,
did he?
they made fun of him because they're like, you really don't got like a mirror to look back, and he was like, he made fun of it, but he really does have one, like safety, obviously.
Yeah.
But he'd be like, nah, it's just in the form of expression where it's just like, I don't have a mirror looking back because what's behind me is passion. There's no need to look back.
Okay, exactly, and exactly that's what I'm saying. So like, but so yeah, so and but we speaking of right now, like in y'all lives right now, like there's people you just need to cut them off because it's not going in the right direction. Maybe they're not respecting you.
Yeah.
Maybe you just don't like what they're doing. And it's not that they disrespect you, but it's just not what you want in your life. And if it's not what you want in life, and whatever they involve in is something you don't want to be around, like sometimes you just gotta cut the tie. I think another one is it's like, to me, man, one of the big one that made me cut ties with somebody is like lack of communication. You know what I'm saying? And I was just telling him, like, it just happened today. I had to, which I'm grateful I'm able to be acknowledgeable. Like, I feel like I just kept giving somebody, this organization, this company a chance. I kept giving them a chance. I would do my best on my communication part. And I remember I would tell them, like, you know, I'm doing business with you. By the way, if this was a business partnership, I'm doing business with you. Like, I need you to hold your end of the stick, man. Like, all I'm asking you to do is at least communicate with me at the very minimum. I can handle anything. I'm very transparent. I'm very understanding. So just give me some communication though. It's necessary. We're doing business together, so it's money involved too, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I kept giving him a chance. I kept wanting to give him a chance. Kept wanting to give him a chance. Finally, I just gave him up today. I just decided it's time to move on because I called, needed something. Again, they're not holding it up on their side of the stick. If I'm doing business with you, you have to hold up your side of the stick. Because ain't you expecting me to hold up mine? Right? You expecting, right? So if I'm always holding mine up, why ain't you? So no love lost, but I'm going to keep it moving. And I went and created a new partnership even today in the same day. The same exact avenue. I was able to go reach out, do my research, and contact somebody else and got a new partnership. Beautiful. I love it. I'm so grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you just gotta learn when to cut those ties, man. Like I said, if it ain't going the right direction, if it just ain't, sometimes it just ain't the time, bro. Like I said, time does heal all. I believe in that so damn much. Like, so just give it some time. You know what I'm saying? But don't suffer in this moment because of an emotional attachment, because of a physical attachment, whatever it is. Because you know he was talking more about your relationships, stuff like that. More maybe personal relationships, like people you may be into, you know what I'm saying, and even family members and stuff like that. And I'm even saying even business partners. You get what I'm saying? Learn how to learn. All these are important categories and aspects in y'all lives that y'all gonna encounter. To just learn when to cut them, bro. If you feel disrespected, cut it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just saying one time disrespect because people make mistakes, right? I'm talking about like, you know what I'm saying, constant disrespect, like consistently disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. You're like, damn, whether it be a relationship, a family member, or like I said, or a business partner, or any partner, or a job. Even a job. I was having another conversation with a lady last night. Like, she put up with so much at this job. You know, I know a lot of y'all probably related. Y'all put up with so much disrespect from y'all job, and how y'all kept holding on to it. Y'all was giving it y'all all, and they never really returned the favor ever. Didn't promote you? Didn't I know a lot of people like this. Like, didn't promote you? Didn't up your even up your pay? Maybe they didn't give you a supervisor position or something higher than that. But still, even at that, all the time you've given them. Working on days that you ain't supposed to be working, coming in giving these extra hours, and you still not getting nothing, not even no raise or nothing. Like, especially I salute to y'all that I know a lot of y'all do that even when y'all got family, y'all got kids to feed and shit like that. Like, bro, you gotta have faith. If maybe that job ain't for you, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to keep getting disrespected. You know, so I do believe you can line yourself up with a job or another something before quitting it. do your research and get one land a job before. But some situations, bro, if it's just you intolerable at this time, you literally just you can't stop. It can't like basically all your focus has lately been on is how much you've been getting disrespected at your place you work at or whatever. Yeah, it might be that time just to cut it. You know what I'm saying? Cut those ties. You know what I'm saying? That's my take on that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, to patty whack off like what he just said, it's just like yeah, because like it kind of connects to like what we were saying last week about leveling up. Like it's like you're doing all that stuff, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
you're not leveling up. Then you know they're leaving you no choice but to cut ties with them because it's just like you're not seeing no progression. You know, you're staying stagnant, and you're not being content with that. So it's like if you're not leveling up, then what you gonna do here? You know what I'm saying? So
Real shit.
yeah, so I kind of see cut ties like that, like in the work aspect. Like I explain more like connections, so like friendship, relationship, or like friends or just associates and stuff. He explained more about the business side of it. So it's just like another view too that I have is just like when you're cutting ties with something, it could be about your damn self too. Like cut ties with all your bad habits, cut ties with the stuff that you're making your decisions off of. So what I mean by decisions off of is just like if you have a goal where it's like you're trying to reach something or you're trying to save up or you just got something you had to accomplish, but you fall under peer pressure because your friends or your people around you, your peers are like, nah, come on, let's do this, and you keep falling. It's just like you gotta cut those ties a little bit. Like how I was saying earlier, though, just because you cut those ties, don't mean it's like, nah, I'm not gonna talk to you, leave me alone. Nah, just like cut ties for a bit until you get what you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
So it's just like the difference of like what we're saying, cutting ties is like you could cut ties to like help yourself because it's just like you got to look out for yourself because no one else is going to look out for you. So it's like you got to see what is affecting you and what you got to cut ties with. It's like there's basically any situation you're putting yourself to, you got to know what you got to cut off. So it's like if you're in a diet, you got to cut off junk food, you got to cut off soda, you got to cut off all that stuff. There's certain ties you got to cut off of. There's another way. That's another way of looking at cutting ties. Like it doesn't have to be relationship, business, all that. It could be just yourself. Take a look in the mirror and be like, all right, this is what I want to do. Now, what do I got to cut off? Like, what do I got to cut ties with? Like, all right, I'm spending too much time on my phone. Okay, I got to cut ties with my phone. I got to leave my phone less and start doing more active shit. So it's just like a lot of it has to do with just you yourself taking that mental note, looking in the mirror, and just being like, all right, what am I trying to get to? What do I want? What do I want to get to? And then you start eliminating the things that's holding you back from that, and you have a clear mind on what you're gonna get. And now it all just depends on you whether you're gonna get there or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's another way you could cut ties that I was just thinking of. It's just like we explained the whole business and the whole like friendship, but it's just like it all starts with you.
Yeah.
And like how he was saying though, I missed that. The whole communication part. When you cut ties, the communication part of cutting ties is really important. Just like communication is important in everything. Like how I was saying, let's say me and him are in two different levels. He's just real up in his brand. I'm just real busy with work and all this stuff I had to do because of holidays and stuff. Communication. He might be like, you know what? Let's take a break. Let's
But
cut
that's
ties.
being transparent. Yeah, exactly. That's communication. Like that's what I'm saying.
That's
Like
communication.
if y'all exactly if y'all communications if y'all relationships lack transparency, bro.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say though. Like when you are gonna cut someone off, it's kind of fucked up to just like not even let them know type shit either. Like I feel like communication is key, so I would let them know. Like I'd be like, yo, like I don't want to sound disrespectful or y'all to be like, oh, you're fake or you don't want to hang with us or this and this. Nah, I'm just letting y'all know, like I ain't gonna really be hanging out with y'all like that no more. Cause
I'm like
I'm
that
trying
too.
to get to. I'm trying to get to what I want to get.
Not for real.
So and be mindful of that. Like when you're gonna do it, communicate that because it's not just your feelings involved. It's the others around you too, or they might look at you sideways and then they might take it to heart. And then when you try to go back, they're not gonna look at it where like they're not gonna be understanding. They're gonna be like, nah, you cut me off.
Yeah, you betrayed.
You turned your back on me type shit. So now fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
And not real
shit.
So
that's what I'm saying. Just be mindful. Like when we're saying like cut ties and you're gonna cut people off or cut ties with whatever you're gonna cut off. Like if it involves people, communicate that. Don't just at least like from my experience, like don't just cut them off and just leave the other person in the dust.
And I think this is literally just what we feel. Like I ain't gonna lie, I don't think you owe nobody that.
Oh yeah.
Like literally being real, you don't necessarily owe somebody cut them off. Like obviously, if they're not helping you progress in life, I think that's what we all trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so. You know what I'm saying? I know not everybody is. A lot of people don't know what they're doing with their life, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all if you don't know what you're trying to do or whatever. But I think you're still trying to somehow get better, do something more. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if that's the case, it's just like maybe you don't want to say it because you don't think they understand. But again, it's his character. That's my character too. I do feel like I don't care, even if you're not going to understand. I don't know. I just want to sit right with me, just to not. If I don't tell you, at least,
Right.
like, hey, fam, I just can't be around you like that no more, man. Because I'm working on this, isn't it? I'm at least to make a statement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I know y'all don't owe it. But it's just a better closure, bro. It's like, some of y'all got those relationships, y'all got those moments where people have left y'all with no closure.
Yeah.
And you know that feeling, right? And I think that's what we kind of base it off of. We've had people leave us and with no closure, and that's not a good feeling. I think we would have always, and you'll never, because you never know when somebody leaves you with no closure. You don't know what happened. You really don't know why.
Yeah.
And you might, and look, somebody you try and cut ties with, if you go have that conversation with them, they might change it. So it might not even be somebody you might not even need to cut ties with.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
They're just in a different element thinking, or they're just on another train track.
They just did. It was just like, and they didn't see it the way you seen it. So you gotta communicate, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's my perspective, bro.
Yeah. That's my perspective too, and just like how he was saying, just to add a little bit to what he was saying, just if you're gonna tell people, yeah, you don't owe it to them, but it's just like put yourself in their shoes. How would you feel that to you? That's just how I look at it,
bro. For real.
So that's why I communicate all the time, because it's like I wouldn't want someone to cut me off and just leave me like
nah, for real,
in the dust type shit. I'd be like, damn, like why? Or you could at least tell me like, oh, I need space or time, like and I'll give you your space and time. I'm a real understanding motherfucker.
Yeah.
So if you need your space and time, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So that's why I always say, like, that's just me. Yeah, I don't owe it to nobody, but I'm the type of person where I like to communicate that and let that shit be known, because like how he was saying, like, I don't want the other person throwing it back, or you don't know what the backlash you're gonna get from it. It could be good understanding, like back, like nothing ever happened, or it could be like nah, but they feel betrayed because like in a way, I mean, you gotta understand their point of view at it too, like kind of in the way they betrayed them. Like, yeah, you're trying to focus on yourself, but it's just like you just left them like nothing. Like that shit ain't mean shit to you. Like,
nah, exactly.
It is what it is type shit.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that yeah. Just communicate, bro. I think. I'm gonna do some. Unless you got something else to say, I'll do some closing remarks. Just pretty much some notes to take along with this, man. When you cutting people off, and add to it if I miss something, okay? But first thing, cutting somebody off. Like again, if you notice you're going down spiral, or y'all whatever y'all, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, relationships, which is like whether it be girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, freaking friendships, blood, family, and then the other one would be business. You know what I'm saying? All those relationships, if it's going down spiral and it's constant disrespect and constant lack of communication, constant lack of transparency, it might be time to cut that tie. But again, like we both agree, time heals all. So maybe it's just that moment, But communicate that to that person or group of people or whatever. And if you want to explain yourself, you can. If not, you don't have to. But just, and then cut your tie, bro, and focus on yourself, bro. And do you. You know what I'm saying? For real. Hey. Always ways, man. This is express yourself. If you like it, then like it. If you, if you, you got somebody, if you care or you know somebody that would care about knowing about stuff like this, just share it. You know what I'm saying? Comment if you got a moment. And subscribe if you down for the ride. My boy. Hey, Mac, man. I'm out of here, man. Love y'all, man. Peace and love.
Love.
Boy.